All right, tonight we're going to talk about percents. Percents. We're going to do two different kinds of problems. The first problem we are going to do a word problem. Okay? So if the word problem said something like, if 46% of students went out to recess, what percent of students did not go out to recess? Okay? So if 46% did go out to recess, then what percent did not go out to recess? Okay, how are we going to solve that? Well, we know there are 100% of the students that we're talking about. So we are going to do 100% minus 46% to figure out our missing percent right here. Okay, so 46% went out, then what percent did not go out? Okay, we are going to do this subtraction problem. Remember, we are going to need to borrow just like this. 10 minus 6 is 4, 9 minus 4 is 5, 0 minus 0 is 0. So our answer is 54. We need to make sure we put that as a percent. So 54%. So if 46% of students went out to recess, then that means 54% of students did not go out to recess. Okay, let's try one more problem like that. One more problem like that. Okay, if we have a problem that says 23% of students ate tacos for lunch, what percent of students did not eat tacos for lunch? Okay, what percent did not eat tacos? Well, again, we're talking about 100% of students. So we have 100 over here. 100% minus 23%. That is what is going to help us find our missing percent right here. So again, we're going to borrow. We have to make that a 0 and make that a 10. Then we're going to borrow again, make that a 9 and make that a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 2 is also 7. And then 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, so we need to make sure we put that as a percent. If 23% of students ate tacos, then 77% of students did not eat tacos. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to a different kind of percent problem. These ones are a little bit trickier. We are going to find 25% of a number and find 50% of a number. Okay, we're going to start with 50%. Okay, there are a few things that you need to know. So if you have a piece of paper, I would write this down. These are things that you must memorize. You have to know these things. Okay, 50% is the same thing as 1/2. Okay, if this is a pie and I ate 50% of it, then I would have eaten this much. Okay, 50% or 1/2, it's the same thing. If I have a pie and I ate 25% of it, then I ate that much, which is the same as 1/4. Okay, so you need to know that 50% is equal to 1/2 and 25% is equal to 1/4. So write that in your notes. If you need to pause this video for just a second to write that down, you're going to need to do that because I'm going to erase this board and we're going to solve some problems. So go ahead and pause the video now. All right, now we are going to find what is 50% of 22, the number 22. 50% of 22, that means half of 22. Okay, so if you know off the top of your head what half of 22 is, then you can write that answer down. But if you don't, 50% is 1/2, right? We can write our number right here, 22, and then if we are taking 1/2 of it, then our 2 comes over here. So we're going to do 22 divided by 2. 2 times what is 22? Our answer is 11. 2 times what is 22? Okay, I'll do that over here the long division way if you need to see it. 2 can go into 2 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. subtract, bring down my 2. This 2 can go into that 2 one time as well. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So that is where I got the number 11. Okay? 50% of 22. Okay, now let's do 50% of 96. We are going to find 50% of the number 96. Okay, 50% of 96. Remember, that's 1/2 of 96. So I'm going to write 96 over here. And if we're taking 1/2 of it, I bring my 2 and put it over here. Okay, so this one we are going to have to do the long division way. You probably don't know what this answer is off the top of your head. Can 2 go into 9? Yes, it can. It can go in 4 times. So now we're going to do 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to put my 8 there. Step number 3 is subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Then step number 4, bring down my 6. Can 2 go into 16, or 16 divided by 2? What is that? 8. So I'm going to put my 8 up there. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract 0. So my answer is 48. So 50% of 96 is 48, or 1/2 of 96 is 48. Okay? The next problem we're going to do is not 50% anymore. We're going to do 25% of numbers. So let's find 25% of the number 16. Remember, 25% is what fraction? It is 1/4. Okay, so 25% of 16 is the same thing as saying 1/4 of 16. So if you have 16 over here and you take 1/4 of it, remember you're bringing your denominator over here, you're going to put it just like that. So this is a fact you should know. 16 divided by 4 is what? Same thing as saying 4 times what equals 16, and our answer is 4. So 25% of 16 is 4. 25% of 16 is 4. So let me show you what that means. Remember our little pie over here? So if we have 25%, this is 4, then that means this would be 4, that means this would be 4, that means this would be 4. So if we do 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, we should get 16. And guess what? We do. So that is what it means by 25% of 16 is 4. Okay? All right, this last one's going to be a little bit harder. We're going to have to do some long division. 25% of 64. I want you to pause this video and see if you can do this one on your own. 25% of 64. What fraction is 25%? It is 1/4. All right, pause the video right now, and then you can play it when you're done so you can check your answer with mine. All right, if we are doing 25% of 64, that means we put 64 right here, and we divide by 4. This 4 is where we get this 4, okay? So now we're going to do our long division. 4 can go into 6 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down my 4. 4 can go into 24 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract, get 0. So my answer is 16. So 25% of 64 is 16. Okay. I hope those problems helped you to understand percents a little bit more. We've got some word problems with percents and then also taking percents of numbers. Hopefully that was helpful. Good luck on your next test.